All right, we're back by popular demand. We got another episode here of Inspired by True Events podcast. Really excited for this episode. We got a lot of stuff to pack in. We got our boy Kenny is back. Kenny is back. Kenny and Phil, how you guys doing today?
I'm
Not
doing
too
good.
bad. Not too bad.
Yep, glad Kenny's back. Everything's all good.
How's your week been as far as work and just life in quarantine or quarantine?
It's all right, Glad for the weekend. Excited to watch some football. Hopefully, COVID doesn't ruin our season because it's not looking too hot. But get ready for it.
What about you, Phil?
Right, just working and staying home. Hopefully that how bad COVID is going in the NFL doesn't get worse over anywhere else. But who knows? We'll see.
Oh no, they gonna play these games. They
Right.
got billions of dollars. They gonna play these. They gonna go into cornfields or what's the movie? What's the baseball movie where they?
Whoa.
Yeah,
If you
yeah.
build it, they will come.
Right.
They
Yeah.
going. They definitely gonna do that, or they gonna do uh Blue Mountain State where they gonna play the championship game and they tune into the cornfield, made the field and played the game. But yeah, just recapping from week 5, we didn't get unfortunately we didn't get to do our picks because Kenny had something come up and we just felt better on just picking the Thursday night game. So we all took a L because we had old man Tom Brady and him forgetting what down it was.
Going to second week.
Or,
The fifth. It was the fifth.
and Nick Foles beat him again and didn't want to shake his hand. But we all took an L on that one. We didn't do the highest point scored, obviously, because we didn't do that. But as far as pick'ems for week 6, we got a lot of. I feel like there's a lot of good games coming up this week. A lot of make or break games. So this week we got the Bears and Panthers. From there we got the Packers and Bucks, Chiefs and Bills, Cardinals and Cowboys. How you guys feeling about those matchups? Like pretty much coming up this week. How about you, Kenny?
This is I think it's make or break for a lot of teams. You're going to see a lot of teams that we think are contenders go up against other contenders, like even Pittsburgh, Cleveland. That's going to be a good one. I feel like you're going to figure out right now which one of them is the real team in the NFC North. You got teams also too like the Lions and the Jaguars. Even they're not obviously not great teams, but somebody's got to win.
Mm-hmm.
I think every game this week is really could be considered a toss up.
All right, so we'll start with the Bills. No, I said Bills. The Bears and the Panthers. Phil, how do you feel about that game? Who do you think is going to take the W for that one, and why?
I'm probably going to lead towards the Panthers because they've been riding the Mike Davis hot train ever since CMC got out. Teddy Bridgewater's playing better. Robbie Anderson is showing why he got signed. All they need is a little bit more production from DJ Moore. I'm pretty sure they got it in the bag this week. Plus, I'm not entirely set on Nick Foles either because, he's great. He's a great sub, like a 6-man, but as a starter, a shaky record.
Yeah.
So I'm not entirely confident on Nick Foles, but I got the Panthers winning this one.
How about you, Kenny?
We trust.
And there's another reason why you want them to win, and why is that?
Because I hate the Carolina Panthers.
so you close the gap.
Buccaneers.
You close the gap. You close the gap
And as
for the
long as y'all
Falcons.
keep losing, it's okay that we're 0-5.
Right.
But no,
That's
I really
a
do
valid
think
point.
that. But I do think that the Bears win this week.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm not too impressed in the Panthers. Obviously, they just beat my Falcons, so I should probably keep my mouth shut about them. But I'm not 100% sold on them. I don't know what it is. I don't think their defense is really that great. I don't think their offense is that great. I think they win games. I don't really understand how they win these games.
Mm. And I think what's special with the Panthers, I don't think a lot of people realize, but their defense is really young. They're getting a lot of good pieces that are coming together. So I think in this one, for me, I'm gonna take the Panthers because I just been kind of watching them a little bit more because I'm obviously a fan of Teddy Bridgewater. We miss you. We can rewind time and you can come back to the New Orleans Saints. We miss you. It would be really nice to have you. But I think the Panthers definitely take this game. I think the Bears with having Nick Foles. I don't think he's going to be able to sustain just being able to be the starter. I don't think it's possible. I just don't see it. So I definitely got the Panthers in that one. Going on to the next one, I think this is going to be probably the biggest game this week. It's going to probably be really chippy. It's always really chippy anyway, between the Steelers and Browns. Phil, who do you got for this one?
I'll probably go with Cleveland for the upset because we know we.
Do you believe it? Do you believe it's an upset though?
I mean, yeah, I believe a lot of people have the Steelers win this matchup because Big Ben is starting to find his groove again. Claypool's emerging. Juju's still catching up. But I think they might steal one because I believe this entire year it's going to be a split game between a split series between the Steelers and Browns. I think the Browns are going to win the first one, and then later on the Steelers are going to grab the second one because I think the Steelers are going to be a much better team down the road. But I think the Browns are just going to get that one they need now, and then maybe then lose against them down the road because I know Myles Garrett is ready to play against the Steelers, so we'll see.
Oh yeah, we got that too. I forgot.
Myles Garrett.
Oh man. Bro, the memes lasted for months, bro. Oh my goodness. I completely forgot about that.
Right.
I wasn't even thinking about that. I was just thinking about how they like pushing each other around. I completely forgot about that. What about you, Kenny? What do you think about this one? I know Mama Lacey is gonna be all on edge because this game.
She'll be hot if I say anything else. But seriously, I think Pittsburgh actually runs away with it. First of all, OBJ got sent home from practice today with illness. It's not. They said it wasn't COVID, but he's still technically he's out as of right now. He's questionable. We don't know for sure he's gonna be playing Sunday. They were down Nick Chubb. Kareem Hunt obviously can handle the load, but Nick Chubb was their bell cow back. I think what I've seen for Pittsburgh so far this year, I like. I've seen good things out of Cleveland too, but I think ultimately at the end of the game, if the Browns have to try to come back, Baker Mayfield is not a quarterback you want with the ball in his hands to have to lead a game-winning drive.
Yep. And I am going to also follow you up with that, and I'm definitely taking the Steelers. I do not see the Browns. I would have them if they have Nick Chubb because they're going to run to death. And then that's going to set up play action. And the Steelers DBs are very similar to the Saints, and they're undisciplined, very undisciplined. They got a lot of penalties. So I think with Chubb being out, it's going to be tough. I think it's going to be too much for commercial man, stadium stairs man to actually be able to play a great game and sustain drives and win. So I think it's going to be a lot of pressure on him going into this game. So I'm gonna definitely take the Steelers on that one. And I kind of want to see this guy Claypool actually prove himself a little bit more instead of it just being one game. Because he was going absolutely nuts. That was one of the games I watched last week. So going from there, we got the next game. We got the Packers and Bucks. With this one, I'm gonna start this one off. I definitely 100%. I think that the Packers go out and absolutely destroy the Buccaneers because I think Aaron Rodgers has had enough with the disrespect on his name. He's definitely the most talented quarterback when you put everything together. Arm, he can run, stay on the run. He can throw on the run, throw in the pocket. He can make any pass. He can throw from any angle. And he's going against Tom Brady, so he's got something to prove. So I'm gonna take the Packers. What'd you say?
Devontae playing?
Yeah, right now he is because he got to sit out, and they just had a bye week, so he had 2 weeks off on a hamstring. I feel like he's about to go absolutely insane. So I'm definitely gonna take the Packers on this one. What about you, Kenny? Hey, Aaron. Hey, Aaron.
Like you said, Lawrence, I think he's tired of being disrespected. Like I'm guilty of it too. We crowned Patrick Mahomes as the next greatest thing, and we forgot about number 12 in Green Bay. I mean, they even went and drafted a quarterback in the first round on this year. Like watching him play this year, just you kind of say, what did we forget about Aaron Rodgers? Because the guy is great, and we're just ready to ship him away already. I don't know, but he's playing phenomenal this year, and I think that him going up against Tom Brady is only going to make him want to play even better. Mm-hmm. I think that they win this game by at least a touchdown.
Yeah, so I to add on to that, with Aaron Rodgers, it's not. I think we're not. We could be like prisoners of the moment sometimes. I try not to be, but with Patrick Mahomes, he won the bowl, man. Like that's a different type of moment. It's not like he just had an MVP season and that's it. I think for me personally, I think they're very similar in how they play. I'm curious to see who has a stronger arm because they both throw the ball at crazy angles that nobody should be able to throw, and their arms are going to probably be paying the price when they get done playing.
Right. I think Aaron Rodgers gets the LeBron James treatment too, where he's so great that we take it for granted that when he does great things, we're like, well, he's supposed to do that. Like, even when you look at the talent that's around Aaron Rodgers, like usually he doesn't really have that much talent, and he still brings them to the playoffs. Like we don't see that happen often or ever. But Aaron Rodgers does so much that it's just like, yeah, well, he's supposed to do that. Who cares?
And he's to quote him on I forget what show it was. He said, my down years are some quarterbacks' best years. And he's that's disrespectful stuff right there.
Where's the lie?
To be honest. But what about you, Phil? How you feeling about that game?
I'm probably gonna go with Green Bay 2 to make it 3-0. Because for me, it's whose defense is gonna play better. Because this is potentially gonna be a shootout. And then the Bucs just lost Vita Vea, one of their defensive tackles, so that's going to make Aaron Jones' job a lot easier. And then with Devonta Adams coming back, I don't see the Bucs outscoring the Packers this game. So I'm going to go with Green Bay.
All right. And then we got my hopeful for the AFC, man. They let me down last week. I was disappointed. We got the Bills and the Chiefs, and the Chiefs are coming to Buffalo, both off of a loss. So how you feel about this one, Kenny? How you feeling?
Homeboy. I just reneged and went back and said I forgot. I still got to give Aaron Rodgers his credit. That don't mean Patrick Mahomes is that far behind him, and he just suffered a loss too. And people are. They didn't play that great. They lost to Vegas, blah, 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 blah. Well, now we get to come and we get to play against Buffalo, who everyone is also ready to crown as an AFC contender. Well, I think Patrick Mahomes shows out again. I think that he's going to go nuts. I think that Buffalo's defense has been suspect this year, which is weird because usually that's the strength of their team.
That's really, that is crazy because I picked them on almost 4 out of 6 of my teams, and they're just not doing what they did last year. They're not doing it.
I think Patrick Mahomes is going to feast on them. Yeah. I mean, no Le'Veon this week, but I think that they're going to feast on them.
And we definitely get to see an interesting matchup. It depends on what they're going to run. Tre'Davious doesn't travel, so he usually stays on his side of the field. So I'd like to see him and Tyreek Hill go against each other because he's fast as shit too, but not as fast as Tyreek Hill. But Phil, how you feel about that game? Bills Chiefs in Buffalo. In Buffalo.
I'll probably have to go with the Chiefs too. They're coming off a loss as well as Buffalo, and I'm pretty sure they're pretty pissed about losing to the Raiders. So Mahomes is gonna do everything he can to show out. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is gonna have to prove himself to everyone and say that even though Le'Veon Bell's coming to town, I'm still the number 1 running back. So he's gonna have to show out and see what he's got to keep his spot. Tyreek Hill can go off. Kelsey, this is dynamic offense that's going to get better next week when Bell comes back. So I have the Chiefs winning by 10.
I think it's going to be a phenomenal game. I think they got the guys at safety that could compete with Travis Kelsey. Not to say they're going to shut him down, but they might be able to do something where they could slow him down in the game. And you got Edmonds too, linebacker. He's fast and he's tall, rangy. So I think it's going to be a good battle back and forth. But I'm not going to make the mistake because I predicted the Titans to lose that game, and I'm taking the Chiefs this game definitely because they just added another piece at running back. And like you said, they got to win, and they're trying to prove that they're the best in the league. So I think I got the Chiefs on that one too. I think
You just stiff arm the Bills away.
To be honest, I think it's by 21. I think they go and show out for real. I think that's what's going to happen. And then you got another thing too, another important factor. Sammy Watkins is out. So Mecole Hardman is going to be playing more speed on the field, more chances to throw the ball down the field. So I think that's going to be really big for them. Going from there, we got another game. It is a Monday night game, 8:15. We got the Arizona Cardinals and the Cowboys. I think this is going to be a special game because obviously the Cardinals, they need to win to pretty much be in the conversation of making the playoffs because the NFC right now is just so heavy with the records and everything. And then the Cowboys, they're 1-3. That division is a debacle. They could afford to lose this game if they want to. So, Phil, how you feeling about that one?
I'm probably going to go with the Cardinals because they absolutely need to win this game with how the NFC West is going. And, I mean, plus, I think the Cowboys are going to struggle maybe the first 1 or 2 games without Dak to try to get adjusted because it's pretty much going to rely on Zeke the entire game. Even though I think Andy Dalton's going to be capable of pulling the offense together because he was a 4,000-yard thrower with just AJ Green. So I think he's capable of going in that working that offense. He just needs to get used to it. So I see. Plus, I believe D Hop's going to have himself a game that sus Dallas secondary. So I think it's going to be Cardinals by maybe 2 touchdowns probably.
All right. What about you, Kenny?
The other birds.
Cardinals. I feel like they're the forgotten bird team in the NFL. Obviously, we all talk about the Falcons because they love to blow leads. We all talk about the Eagles because they play in the worst division of football, and everyone knows the Seahawks and the Ravens. But like the Cardinals don't get a lot of love. They're the other birds. They're going to win this week, though. Dallas is coming the first week without Dak. But hot take, Dallas is going to be better without Dak Prescott the rest of the season because they're going to get back to what they're best at, which is just feeding Zeke. They're just going to feed Zeke over and over. And I think this week they're not going to – it's still his first week out there, so it's going to be – they're going to be weird trying to get everything together. But I think going forward, Dallas is a better football team without Dak this season.
He's going to need that too.
I'm not mad at that take. I'm not mad at it. For me personally, I'm gonna go with the Cowboys on this one. I think they lean on Zeke, but at the same time, they have a backup that has a lot of snaps. There's no way you lean on just a running back with a quarterback that's been starting in the league 5+ years. And you got 3 potential 1,000-yard receivers. I see them potentially just going out and doing everything they've been doing. They might lean on Zeke a little bit more, but I think the Cowboys take this game because I feel like they're gonna play a little bit more inspired, especially this week with Dak getting hurt. So I'm gonna definitely take the Cowboys on that one.
Well, think about Andy Dalton
has more weapons now than he's ever had in his whole career.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like ever. Think about it. I mean, even at TCU, he didn't have 5-star recruits with him. Then he goes to Cincinnati where he just had AJ Green. Now he has Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb, Zeke.
His second best option was like Tyler Eifert.
Yeah.
I would have demanded a trade year 4. I'm like, y'all not getting me no help. AJ Green goes to walk out the tunnel. He tears his hamstring. Y'all not getting more receivers. Like, well, he had Tyler Boyd like early though, but he wasn't what he is now.
Yeah,
he's good too. Going from there, who do you guys think scores the most points out of those games? Me personally, I think it's going to be the Chiefs. I think it's Aaron Rodgers.
I think the Packers.
Aaron Rodgers?
Yep, Packers.
Packers?
Because I'm torn between your guys' picks because that was my top pick. So,
yeah, listen, one of them.
I'm gonna have to go with Green Bay because I believe Bucks have a better offense slightly than the Bills, so they're gonna have to keep up with the Bucks scoring. So yeah, I'd probably go with the Packers as well.
Okay. All right. Going from there, outside of those games, from all the games that are there, what is your one favorite game? Your one favorite game?
Mine probably Well, I like Houston.
in Tennessee this week, actually. Because
Houston.
Tennessee is undefeated.
Mhm.
Houston is coming on week 2 with a new head coach, playing a little bit differently. I always love watching Deshaun Watson. Division matchup. I think that's going to be a better game than people think.
Definitely. What about you, Phil?
If this game happens, which I'm not 100% sure anymore, the Broncos and Patriots, which seems a little biased, but
No, that's fine.
we get to see Cam coming back. Gilmore surprisingly back faster than Cam, so we get to see Cam continue his run as most improved candidate player. So,
hey, don't listen. Y'all better not lose this game because you know what that means. If Dolphins win, hey man, they had the same record, but you guys got the tiebreaker though, right?
yep.
I played the first. Yeah, so you got the tiebreaker. I'm me personally. I'm gonna go with the Ravens and Eagles.
Against the Eagles.
And I'm gonna keep the ball rolling from what I was saying last week. Carson Wentz is on the hot seat. No other way to prove yourself but to compete with Lamar Jackson in Lincoln Financial. The only way. I don't know if they'll win the game, but I think it's going to be a big game for the Eagles, and I think the Ravens too. Ravens got to keep rolling because obviously the Browns and the Steelers are on their heels. Who's leading the division right now? The Steelers?
I think it's
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hold on. All right, going from there, we like to segue into top positions. Last week, me and Phil did the tight ends and running backs. And I know Kenny is a quarterback receiver guy, so I had to put the quarterbacks and receivers on hold because I knew he'd be a little mad at me if we did it without him. So we'll have you go first, Kenny. Who are your top 5 quarterbacks in the game right now?
No, is Aaron Rodgers. Right now, he's playing like a man on fire. So he's definitely number 1 for me.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, Patty Mahomes. But they're like 1A, 1B, but it's like splitting hairs with them too. I'm giving him number 2 though. Number 3 is Russell Wilson. That kind of gets tough for me because like everything in me wants to say Lamar because he played phenomenal last year, but like not that he's not playing great this year, but like it's not the Lamar that we saw last year. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to break it down.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'll probably still give it to him though. So I'll probably put Lamar at number 4, but I'm not as high on him as I was coming into the year.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5 is a toss-up, and I wanted to say Josh Allen, but I'm going to say Big Ben Roethlisberger because what he's doing in Pittsburgh is impressive too. Because when you think about it too, they had that same offense in Pittsburgh last year, just minus him, and they were a struggling team. With him, they look like world beaters.
Yeah, they're good. But I would say especially with the point of the Steelers, I feel like experience is coming in too for those receivers. They're starting to understand. They're starting to understand and everything too. But what about you, Phil? Going your top 5 QBs right now in the game.
Mahomes number 1. He just A-Rod is great and all, but we've seen Pat doing stuff like we haven't seen a lot of quarterbacks do recently. He's putting up numbers, especially that 1 week he went off where I think everyone in fantasy was happy because they got 50 plus points, 40 plus points from him. But his performance off of that, then I have Aaron Rodgers because like those two can be interchangeable, but I'm gonna have Mahomes as number 1 and Aaron number 2. Then I'm gonna have Russ as number 3. He's probably going to be the MVP this year, the way he keeps playing. Like Kenny said, Lamar at 4 because we're used to him being so much better like last year. And then I'm probably going to go with Josh Allen because now that he has a receiver and Stephon Diggs, he's getting to show what he can actually do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with those 5.
Okay. I'm gonna be a prisoner of the moment right now. And I'm gonna say I feel like right now, especially what we watched on Sunday night. I'm not sure if you guys watched. What was it, Monday night? When did Seattle play?
It was Sunday night.
Sunday night?
Yep.
Driving down the field, man. Get to the 8-yard line, 4th and goal. You stand in the pocket, fire a strike to your best receiver. I'm gonna say Russell Wilson right now. The way he's playing, I'm gonna say he's the best in the league. The way he's leading his team. I think the other guys, as far as Aaron Rodgers, it's so close. Like,
right.
You can make an argument for any of them to be number one. But I'm gonna say Russell Wilson for right now. And then I'm gonna go with Patrick Mahomes, and then obviously Aaron Rodgers. You can I feel like you could put 1, 2, 3. Like, you can do whatever, but I think right now Russell Wilson's the best. And then I think Pat Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers. I'm gonna say Josh Allen at 4. And number 5, I'm probably gonna go with Lamar. Or I was thinking, Kenny, same thing with you. I was thinking about Big Ben. I would put Big Ben at 4, and then Josh Allen or Lamar at 5 right now. Just how they're playing. Big Ben has come back, and he's obviously, he said he's in shape. His mind is right. He wants to actually play football again, and it's definitely showing. So I think he's showing that he can still play at a high level. And then Josh Allen, y'all already know. That's one of my favorite players in the league right now. He's balling. He's playing really good. Yeah, but he let me down last week. Just on how he's playing. It looked like they took 2 weeks off. It looked like they didn't play last week because of COVID, and that it showed. But the Titans didn't, because the Titans were still practicing. But and then Lamar, I think what Lamar is, I don't know. You can put an honorable mention. You could do 5 or 6 or whatever you want to put it. But I think with Lamar, he has to take control of that team again. I think it's getting a little out of hand right now. I think he just needs to take a deep breath and just keep playing, because I think he's really pressed right now to be at or above the level that Patrick Mahomes is playing, and I think he just needs to be himself. So I think a lot of that is pressure on himself. You can definitely hear it in the press conferences and stuff too. I don't know, y'all watch them. I got the Baltimore Ravens on the YouTube, and I just watch him, and you can just hear it in his voice that he's really pressed to try to be the next big thing. So, which he already is the big thing. So, I think those are my 5 right now. Going from that, who do you guys think are the top 5 receivers in the game right now? How do you guys want to actually do this? Because there's people hurt. I'm not gonna name any names. He hasn't played more than 4.
I'll give him his credit. I'm going body of work.
Okay, body of work. Okay, all right. I wasn't sure if we talking active IR.
Yeah, no, I'm taking this year into consideration, obviously, but I'm doing body of work as well.
Okay, all right. So you definitely started off, Kenny. Top 5 receivers in the game right now.
Yo!
Why? Listen. Ooh, DK number 5.
Wow. He said mini Megatron.
Wow. And they need to stop it with the mini Megatron. We watched that happen week in and week out. Everybody knew he was getting the ball, and what he was doing was DK is not doing what he's doing.
Right. Let's not get crazy, Jamal Adams.
He's very good. We want to I think that's another thing. Like I said, prisoners of the moment. We want to latch on the closest thing that his frame is, but he was no Megatron. He was no. I don't think we'll never see that again. 4.4 speed, 4.3 speed, 6.5. We'll catch it on 3 people, stiff arm the second person, and step on the third to run for a touchdown.
Right.
But
the closest thing we're ever going to see to it is the guy I have at number 1 is Julio Jones. I think that's the closest we're going to see to Megatron. I'm not saying he is Megatron, but that's the closest we're ever going to get to it.
Yeah, but I think at the same time with we wouldn't I feel like Megatron and then DK. Megatron was before him, so we can't really say Megatron and Julio because they were kind of their timelines were
a little bit.
Yeah, right. They're at the same time. But I think, bro, Julio's different. He's different.
Outside with half a leg, and he's going to make a catch. Put him in the slot, he'll make a catch. He does whatever you need.
But that is a valid statement. What you said with the whole Megatron. I would say that's the most similar guy to him. Or you could say whatever. Like you can interchange it. They're both the same type of receiver to me because they can block, they can catch, run after catch, run through contact, and everything. So, I
had D-Hop at number 2.
Yep.
For me, they're 1A and 1B too. I just got to put Julio's name first because that's my boy. But D-Hop don't drop balls. Like, you kidding me? He's phenomenal.
Did you see that strike the bad Tyler threw to him and he got hit on it was on the left side of the numbers going into the end zone. He threw it through the safety, past the corner. He catches it and then gets smoked and is unfazed. Like, I don't understand how they do this on a weekly basis.
That's probably why.
I
don't get it. These guys are amazing, bro. Like,
and D-Hop has done it with so many different guys. Like TJ Yates on the ball at one point, he was putting up numbers. Like D-Hop, it doesn't matter who's throwing the ball, he's gonna put up numbers. Number 3, I got a slant boy.
Why you listen? Why everybody listen? All right, you right. You know, I was just gonna say something. I was about to say why he gotta have the only nickname out of everybody, but they all got nicknames besides Julio. But listen, slant boy. Yo, where did that come from?
It's not my fault. That's what his teammates call him.
That's what they call him.
His teammate calls him that. That's what Malcolm Jenkins called him. That's why he got into a fight because he called him slant boy. That's why he punched Gardner Johnson.
Oh, see, I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
I'm sleeping.
He got upset.
I saw that, but I didn't know what happened. Like, but I guess they fought last year too, the same exact way. I think the only difference was he basically was screaming obscenities at the coaches, and that's why he got fined $60,000. So
one thing I'm going to say about Michael Thomas now, because you know I always call him 5 yards in a cloud of dust because that's all he does. But I'm starting to think that's more on Drew Brees than it is Michael Thomas, just from what I've seen recently this year. I think Brees just can't throw the ball.
Did Lawrence not say this last year?
Drew Brees can't throw the ball. So
I literally said that.
I was trying to give your quarterback more credit, but now after what I've seen this year, I can't give him the credit no more. So I can't blame him. Number 4, I got Devontae Adams because when healthy, the boy is just phenomenal because there's really no other option on that offense, and he still puts up his numbers. And then 5, I had right. Number 5, I had DK because I'm probably a prisoner of the moment too. But right now, that boy is just balling out, and with Russell Wilson as his quarterback, I think he's going to continue to put up numbers.
All right. What about you, Phil? What's going on with the receivers over there for you, in your opinion?
I got like Kenny said earlier, D-Hop and Julio are interchangeable. So I got D-Hop at 1, Julio number 2.
Mm-hmm.
I got Devontae at number 3. And then at number 4, Tyreek Hill, the speed demon, because not a lot of people is going to catch that man, corner, or whoever you put on him.
Mm-hmm.
And then number 5, due to his credit, even though he's been out for a while, I'll go with Michael Thomas, number 5.
Nice. I like it. I'm gonna go with I always keep it honest when it comes to the best positions. The only person I'm not gonna be biased about, because he's playing out of his absolute mind right now. He's the best, one of the best weapons in the game is AK. I'm gonna say he's the best back in the league. But receiver, I've always been fair and I haven't been biased regardless of the stats, him having 1,000 catches or whatever it is. I've never considered him to be over Julio because Julio has everything you want in a receiver. So I'm always going to put, as long as he's putting on a helmet in the NFL and playing at a high level, I'm going to say Julio's the best receiver in the league. He's been the best in the league for a while. I think a lot of people are quick to try to take him off of that spot, but it's very hard to do that when he's putting up tons of catches and tons of yards. But the only thing is he doesn't get the touchdowns. I think that's probably the knock on him, but that's not necessarily his fault because he's not getting targeted in the red zone. But I'm going to put Julio. I'm going to go with good old slant boy number 2. And now I'm going to put D-Hop number 3. regardless of Michael Thomas being out, I think when he gets back, he's I don't think anything is going to change as far as how he plays. I'm gonna go with D-Hop, and then number 4. Number 4. That's very, very tough. There's so many guys. I feel like there's a bigger drop off in this position. And I'm gonna say D Adams. I call him Big ISO because when he runs routes, he's literally looks like he's an ISO in basketball. He's like Kyrie, and he just gets open, like in any route, any direction. Like he may not be the fastest guy, but he gets open. And then number 5, that's tough, man. Number 5 is tough. I don't know how you guys picked one.
So let's be different. We DK for that reason.
Yeah, that's tough. I'm gonna go with. God damn. Right. That's. I'm not gonna because you guys said DK. I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna probably say 5th, probably best receiver in the league. I'm gonna go with just the name. I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna just say Odell, man.
Oh man.
Say Odell, man.
I was just gonna say I was so proud of all of us for not bringing his name up. I was just gonna say it because I swear that man has made a career off of doing this. That's all he did. He made one catch like this, and we want to crown him. It's just like Malcolm Butler, interception at the goal line. Now he's a top 5 corner. Come on, one play does not make a career.
Odell Beckham, like that's not a valid pick. Oh man,
I was gonna say it because everyone wants to say it.
No.
I'm just glad
listen.
we're at the
5A, 5B, they're on the same team. Godwin and Evans. I'll have them share. The fifth spot.
How can I forget about my?
Yeah, and
You're right.
I love
Godwin.
Godwin is that boy's nasty. He can play, and he's literally like the perfect size receiver and perfectly built. He can run through everything. He can make people miss. He can block, and he can go to slot and outside. So I feel like he's very dangerous. And then Mike Evans, man, it's not even 50-50. That shit 90-10. Shit is 90-10. When it's past 30 yards, it's 90-10 for him. Like he's amazing. But going from there, who you guys think is some underrated players that you personally think don't get enough credit, or just putting work in and they just don't get the ball enough or things like that? So, Phil, who do you feel like are 2 of your most underrated players in the league?
2 of my picks are from the AFC East, which is very surprising for me. So, the first one
imagine a Patriots fan giving someone credit.
Right, especially outside of the Patriots. So with that being said, my first one is going to be from the Patriots. We're going to go with Cam Newton. This season is basically him getting the respect he deserves, proving everyone wrong. He signed a low risk deal, not a lot of money, so it's beneficial on both ends. He's basically trying to prove everyone that you guys skipped over me. I'm here to prove why I still got that talent. And New England is one of the perfect places for him with Bill Belichick. They already got a good relationship with him. He has his own nickname for him. I think it's like Dollar Bill or something like that. And then Cam just brings that swag you haven't seen from not a lot of quarterbacks brought in by the Patriots organization. So
bro, he was dancing to gospel in the middle of practice.
And he literally had
handshakes. Did you see the comments on Twitter and Facebook how mad the Patriots fans were? Yeah. That he wasn't stretching. When in the video they played like a 20-second clip of him dancing to like it was like Kurt Franklin or something. I guess he requested it and he was dancing. And then you look at the entire clip, it's 2-3 minutes. He's stretching for 2.5 minutes, and then the 30 seconds is him dancing. And then people are losing their minds saying he's not focused, he's not gonna win, and all this other nonsense.
Right.
It's just crazy.
They're a different type of breed.
Yeah.
And then my other one is going to be from the Buffalo Bills, wide receiver, Stephon Diggs. He wasn't in any of our top 5 lists, but I feel like he's having such an amazing year this year. He's basically the main option for the Bills. and being Josh Allen's best friend. He's like what, top 5 receiving yards so far this year.
Yep.
So I see him actually continuing that trend, maybe being top 4, top 3 in yards this year. So I'm going to go with Stephon Diggs.
Trust me, I'm watching him. I feel like he left or wanted out because I feel like they favored Thielen too much, and I think that got under his skin a little bit.
Right. So he has, just like Cam, he has something to prove to everyone too.
Yeah. What about you, Kenny? Who you got for underrated in the league?
Bias is about to show because mine all come from the Falcons. That's because I watch them every week. I just can't understand why they don't get more love. To be honest. The first one I'm going to go with. I mean, he's starting to get more love now, but I still feel as if Calvin Ridley does not get the credit he deserves, and it's because he plays with Julio Jones. It's what it is. I mean, because he puts up numbers, but you're not even the best receiver on your team. Let's be real. It's just how it is. But like when we're talking about elite receivers, you got to put Calvin Ridley in that conversation now. He runs routes better.
His routes
he might be the best route runner in the NFL.
His routes are crazy.
He puts up 100 yards like nothing. He has 2 touchdown games like it's nothing. I mean, if he were on any other team, he'd be the number 1 option, and we would talk about him maybe in a top 5 conversation. But he plays behind Julio Jones, and he just gets left behind. That's how I feel. Underrated player comes on the defensive side of the ball for the Falcons because our defense is so trash that everyone just forgets the couple of bright spots we have. And I'm torn between whether it's Grady Jarrett or Deion Jones because they're both great players. They don't do enough credit. Grady Jarrett is not – he's not a household name. Grady Jarrett is not a household name. If I say Grady Jarrett to someone, they don't know who I'm talking about.
Well, it depends on who you're talking about. Are you talking about somebody that watches ESPN all day and doesn't know the interior defensive line? If you talk to like somebody like Woodman that's played years,
if I talk to you and I talk to Woodman, you guys know. But if I talk to the casual football fan and I say, "Oh, Grady Jarrett might be the second best defensive tackle behind Aaron Donald," they'll say, "Are you like?" They won't know what I'm talking about.
That's probably the only person that's probably the only person they'll name because he's a marquee player. But there's a whole bunch of interior. But I definitely agree on that though. But Deion Jones,
he's having a down year too, so that's why he's not getting as much love as he usually does. But Grady Jarrett, I'm saying above is more underrated than Deion Jones because Grady Jarrett to me is the second best defensive tackle in football, and it's just I don't think I hear about him enough.
Yeah. Definitely. I definitely agree with that. I'm going to go I agree with you on the Calvin Ridley. We already have our conversations. I said it before. But I'm going to pick two different ones. Definitely give Calvin the honorable mention. One is going to be Trey Hendrickson for the New Orleans Saints. My man has zero swag on the field, but he gets to the motherfucking quarterback a lot of pressures. I like how he plays. He's really fast, good size. A lot of the commentators are raving about him in the Chargers game a little bit. And he had got, I think, 2 sacks in that game. I'm not too sure. I think it might have just 1.5 or something like that. But he's really developed because Davenport is a glass man. Every time he comes out there, he has a neck brace or elbow brace. He broke his toe. He broke his fingernail, and he's out for 3 weeks, so he's developing. And then another person I'm going to say that probably doesn't get their credit right now. Man, Kenny T, I thought you was going to pick somebody else besides Calvin, man.
Maybe 2 Falcons.
I'm going to say you said the Falcons?
Yeah. There's no bias on this podcast. Just a heads up. No bias.
No bias. No bias.
Zero.
You can pick
0.
I can't even say nobody out the Saints defense because they got me hot right now. Besides Hendrickson is the only one that's holding down. Cam Jordan is playing like an absolute bomb right now. I'm gonna say God damn. I'm gonna say another person that's underrated. And I'm gonna go with Kenny here. I'm gonna go with our own teams. I'm gonna go with Traquan Smith. I think he has the ability and the speed to be something special. He reminds me a lot. What the Saints do is they get the same type of receivers and try to run with them. And he reminds me of Robert Meacham so much.
Oh, wow.
Probably a faster version of him. He plays kind of the same role as him. So I think they got a really good pick with him because he's stepping up when his number's called, and he's actually trying to hold it down while Slant Boy punches the DBs and shit and suspended and hurt. So I'm gonna say Traquan Smith and then Trey Hendrickson for the two.
Let me give you my
Honorable mention. I was gonna say.
Yep.
Deontay Johnson from Pittsburgh.
Yep. And I like him. Yep.
And
he just gotta stay healthy.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. He's got to stay healthy. And I think now people don't kill me for this. What I'm going to say, I am not saying he is Antonio Brown. I am not saying he is Antonio Brown. But if you watch how the Steelers use him, and if you watch how the Steelers used Antonio Brown in his first couple of years there, they are mirror images of each other. They put him on kick return. They put him in the slot. They give him handoffs. They do whatever they can to give the playmaker the ball. Again, I'm not saying he is Antonio Brown, but they use him very similar, and I think that is why he's going to thrive in that offense.
I could definitely see it. That's why I definitely picked him this year in one of the leagues. He just got hurt last week. Oh man, I lost by 2.8 points. Ooh. He got hurt in the second quarter, 0.8 points. I was heated, but it was an undefeated league anyway, so I was good. Going from there, man, the hottest buzz in the NFL, Mr. Washed Up himself, Le'Veon Bell is going. Oh, first off, let's bring it back. But
rewind.
Adam Gase doesn't like him, never did. Actually asked the GM why the hell you signed the running back for 4 years, 52 mil. I believe it was 52 mil, something like that.
Yeah.
Some crazy amount of money. And he didn't like him. He's had similar backs in all his systems. He's the perfect back for you from all your teams. And for whatever reason, he doesn't like him. And then he got a reason not to like him once he started retweeting that Adam Gase doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about on Twitter. He started liking people's comments, basically saying Adam Gase is a terrible coach. Yeah. Did y'all see that? The tweets he retweeted? Oh, I would have released him too. I'd have got him out of there. It was like Adam Gase doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't even know how to use Le'Veon. He's liking everything, retweeting it. He undid everything, but they had screenshot and everything already. But from there, he got obviously released from that because he was just pretty much probably fed up with the Jets. But he did commit a heist. He definitely did. Bank robbery. 18 games, 28 mil. I think that's a good deal.
4 touchdowns.
And now he's going to
17 games.
17 games. Now he's going to the former Super Bowl champions or reigning Super Bowl champions, Kansas City Thanos, the Golden State Chiefs. And he's going there. What do you guys think about that?
People are mad.
But because it's not
like you pointed,
it's not our problem, Kenny.
Oh,
not our problem.
Right? Bad though.
Don't gotta worry about it at all. But no, Lawrence, what's crazy though is like you pointed out, you put something on Facebook. Last week everyone's saying, "Oh, Le'Veon Bell's washed. Le'Veon Bell is washed." Mm-hmm. The minute he signed with the Chiefs, oh, this is rigged. This is cheap. Well, which one is it? Is the man washed, or is the league rigged because they're the best team ever assembled? Now, well, he's not washed up. We know he's not washed up. He put up great numbers in Pittsburgh with a good offensive line, and then he went to the Jets. Who are the Jets? They have no coaching. They have no good ownership. They don't have good management. They had no weapons around him. What did you think was going to happen? When he signed there, I knew it was the worst thing that could happen because he was just going to give fuel to all the people that said he didn't deserve the money. We're now going to see him play City, and he's going to go off. The only person who was is Clyde Edwards-Helaire, because you went from being the bell cow back to now you're going to have to split carries with a guy who is going to probably show you again that he's a top 5 running back because that's where he was when he left Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. You guys already know this. I'm big on all-purpose guys. When you get to a point in football or just any sport like that where you could do everything, and a coach can sit there and try to pick and poke at your game, and he can say zero about your game. That is what Le'Veon Bell is. He can make people miss. He can run through you. He can pass protect. He's probably been one of the best pass protectors. A lot of people don't pay attention to this stuff. I do. That's why I'm really excited for him to get his chance again. Because I think he's been one of the best all-around backs in the league. When we talk about Alvin Kamara, Christian McCaffrey, those guys, they don't always pass protect. They're trying to get out of the backfield to get passes and stuff. And you can see it in Pittsburgh that Le'Veon stuck his nose into D tackles, DNs, linebackers. It didn't matter. But this is one of my favorite players to ever play the game, to be honest. I'm really excited for it. I think it's gonna be something special to really see this. So what do you think about it, Phil?
Yeah, just basically going off of what you said and Kenny said. Everyone like said, oh, he's washed up. People were saying, oh, it's going to be a Shady McCoy deal because, bringing someone into the Chiefs organization, oh, it's not going to matter much because anything he was actually going to go. But once he did go, they're all mad and pissed off.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if they're going to – I do think Bell's going to get a lot of Clyde's touches, or they can also do a dual back system. But it's really up to Andy Reid and how he likes to coach.
Yeah, I think it definitely plays into the hand of Andy, because now instead of having one play sheet, now you got to make a play sheet and a half, maybe two, because you can do so many more things.
Yeah.
Think about
Andy Reid. His best running back he probably had, like in their prime, might have been LaShawn McCoy for that run he was in Philadelphia.
Yep.
And Le'Veon Bell is a better version of what LaShawn McCoy was in his prime. Let's be real.
Mm-hmm.
So the things that LaShawn McCoy did were great. Imagine what Andy Reid is going to draw up for Le'Vean Bell with Patrick Mahomes as his quarterback and Tyreek Hill running down the sideline. Oh yeah, and Travis Kelce running across the middle.
Oh man!
And plus Clyde, not falling off a little bit the last couple of weeks doesn't help his case. He's gonna have to really show out this week against Buffalo to really try to solidify his spot as the number one back.
Going from there, we're gonna go right into coaching. And speaking of Adam Gase and his just mismanagement of the two teams he's been coaching. This guy, I don't know how he has a job anymore because he doesn't seem like he doesn't know. I don't think he knows what he's just talking about. But going from there, with coaching, how do you guys feel about the Atlanta and Houston situation with coaching and those jobs pretty much being open, and who you think are some good suitors?
My team, I guess I'll go first.
Yeah, go ahead.
Houston and Atlanta to me they're two great jobs. I can't believe both teams are 1-4 and 0-5. Like looking at them on paper, they should be way better than that. So I think whoever gets the next job is actually falling into a great situation. You have Deshaun Watson in Houston, and you have Matt Ryan for a couple more years, and Julio Jones in his prime for a couple more years. But then you still have Calvin Ridley right behind Julio. But to me, even though the Falcons are older, I still think the Falcons are the better job, and not just because I'm a Falcons fan, but because Bill O'Brien decimated your draft for the next couple of years in Houston. So you have to literally, you're going in there knowing I'm rebuilding and I'm not going to be able to get a first round pick for a couple of seasons. So we're going to stink for the next couple of years. You go to Atlanta, you already have Matt Ryan, you already have Julio Jones, you have some young pieces on defense. You just have to get a couple of guys in the draft and hit, and you can be a contender immediately. Mm-hmm. And you were saying, like, what guys are fits? The fancy name that everyone's saying is Eric Bieniemy from Kansas City. I love him. I hope he's going to be our coach. It's not going to happen. I'm a Falcons fan. I know it. I'm not going to get myself excited.
He's not going to leave there. Andy Reid is going to back him to stay.
And even if he does leave there,
I just can't see him leaving to come to Atlanta. It's just he might end up in Houston if he leaves. I don't see it happen. I'm not getting my hopes up. So a name that I like is Byron Leftwich, the offensive coordinator over in Tampa Bay. Mm-hmm. I think that when Tampa Bay turns it on eventually, because unfortunately they're going to turn it on because they have Tom Brady. Mm-hmm. I think his name is going to get a lot of steam, and I think he's a good fit for Atlanta, being that he's coached in the NFC South now, so he knows that division. I think he can come right over. He'll have Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley, which will be his Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. He'll have Matt Ryan, who can be what Tom Brady is doing for him this year. I think that he would be a good fit for Atlanta.
Yeah, for me, like Houston is a dumpster fire. He like Bill O'Brien. He tried to be Bill, the other Bill, the real Bill, and it did not work out. This GM coach thing should not go. A lot of times it just doesn't work. Like, I don't understand why they would even give him this much power coming out of college. But I don't really know the too much of the landscape or the like who's the suitors for coaching and things like that. But offensive minded coaches that I could think of, but I don't know if he's gonna ever come back. I've always liked Hugh Jackson, but like I don't know. Like I don't really know the landscape of the coaching and who's the suitors out there. But I think like Hugh Jackson, I know he's always been offensive minded. Going from there, but I can't really think anybody, but I wouldn't go to Houston.
Yeah.
I'd be like, you want me to step in the situation and get myself fired after a year and a half, after y'all get mad, there's no future? Nah, I'll pass. I'm not about to move my family and my 3-4 kids, and then we got to leave somewhere. It's like, come on, man. But if they're willing to be patient, then
yeah, you
gotta sign to somebody to like a 5 to 7 year deal or whatever it is. But what do you think about it, Phil?
Yeah, I probably have to agree with you guys said. Atlanta's the more interesting job because of all those pieces, and also going back to Houston, I believe Bill O'Brien should have been fired after that playoff loss against the Chiefs. To be honest, he should have been.
Oh yeah,
a long time ago.
24-0, definitely.
Right, he should have been fired after making the Hopkins trade.
Yeah, because he traded for a run. He's not a bum. But he's damaged goods as a running back, and you trade him for. I don't get it.
Yeah, and then going off what you said about offensive minded coaches, I know if he doesn't take over the Patriots head coaching job, probably Josh McDaniels, because he's been a very very highly scouted coach for the last like 5 years. Other teams try to get him, but somehow New England manages to keep him.
I couldn't think of his name. I was trying to think. That's why I was fumbling a little bit. I was like, what is his name? What is his name? Because like everybody, and that's another thing. Another cool thing I want to give y'all insight, especially you, Phil. When I was going through like my my whole NFL thing and going through that, they said this is what they told me during like being picked up. They said you get picked up by the Patriots, you'll probably never leave the NFL.
I've heard that
because of how respected they are. Because it's like if the Patriots want you, oh yeah, we definitely want you too. You must be that good.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, wow, that's crazy. Like,
yeah, I've heard that a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
So,
yeah, like going back to Josh McDaniels, like he had a stint with the Broncos, which it didn't go exactly the way he wanted to, but ever since then, he's been one of the most highly scouted and wanted coaches in the NFL. So if he doesn't take over for Bill Belichick when he retires, there's gonna be a lot of teams, especially Houston and most likely Atlanta as well, wanting his services to coach.
Definitely.
What Phil said about his little stint in Denver too, like people want to use that against him. His quarterback was Kyle Orton. Like, I mean, that's you can hold that against him. He had Kyle Orton as his quarterback, and he still was halfway decent. I'm not a huge McDaniels guy, but I would never use that against him to say he can't coach because he didn't do well in Denver.
Right. Yeah. But man, that concludes another episode of Inspired by True Events Sports Podcast. I want to thank you guys again, Phil and Kenny. It's been a pleasure. Definitely keep this rolling. Word of the month, word of the lifetime is be consistent. We're gonna be consistent with this, and we're gonna keep the content rolling. And best believe, I hope you got if you get to this point of the episode, the LeBron and Jordan talk is coming. It's coming to Inspired by True Events. It's definitely got to come on here, and we got to get two on the Jordan side, two on the LeBron side. Me, Kenny, and Phil will be the refs. All punches go. Tables, ladders, and chairs.
Right, no.
But yeah, definitely appreciate you guys for tuning in. And we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna be consistent with this. That's what the main goal is right now. And you guys have a wonderful, wonderful night, day, afternoon, wherever you at. And we'll catch you later.